Hey everyone, and welcome to the Defining Your Life podcast, where we focus on living in our purpose, practicing presence, and activating our power in each moment. I'm Marsharelle, your resident pep talk provider, and I invite you to join me as we continue to learn, lift each other up, and strive to level up together. Because we are never finished defining our lives, and it takes a village, so let's build one. Stay tuned for the episode. Hey everyone, I hope that all is well and that you've been squeezing what you can out of the last bits of summer, especially if you are located where warm weather is limited. Keep getting out and enjoying what's left of the beautiful seasonal produce. And sidebar, I gotta say, I have been passing out bags of tomatoes from my garden like it's nobody's business, and I've been loving it. Although some of the other things I grew this year were unsuccessful, I'm really trying to celebrate what I have. I don't know what happened to the cucumber plant and some of the other things I planted for that matter, but you win some, you lose some. But in the spirit of never giving up, I think I'll give fall crops another go this year. Anyway, I just love summer so much for its carefree vibe and the sun-kissed skin it blesses me with. But I must admit, there is something to be said for the routine that comes with the parting of summer and the welcoming of fall. Routine brings order, more structure, and more discipline to our lives. The start of the school year always seems to be like that marker for getting our houses in order, for lots of us anyway. I have my children to thank for that. Getting them ready for the new school year is always like my cue to start getting it together again. Now that I'm preparing for the new year, it got me thinking about organization, making the best use of my time, and of course, productivity. And I realized that as much as I don't wear it as a hat or a badge of honor, if you will, and perhaps I'm not strong in the area right now, every single one of us is a project manager, and operating as such would really just make my life so much easier, And so that got me to thinking, what makes a successful project manager? Well, let's explore a little bit. Coursera describes a project manager this way. A project manager is a professional who organizes, plans, and executes projects while working within restraints like budgets and schedules. Project managers lead entire teams, define project goals, communicate with stakeholders, and see a project through to its closure. Now, doesn't that sound like it applies to everything we do in life? From the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed, consciously or subconsciously, we are organizing and planning our days on some level, making sure that our children get to school on time, get there prepared, right? Being diligent about showing up for work ourselves, performing while at work, whether at a mediocre or high level. That's execution. Leading teams could be your family or taking the reins in organizing something in your religious community or friend groups. Communicating with stakeholders. That could be your spouse, children, parents, friends. And seeing a project through to its closure. Well, that, my friends, is, of course, the duration of your life. We are all project managers, whether we want to be or not. And I'm probably one of the first to say that, it's not my area of expertise. But I want to try a different approach as I'm revving back up. Take that project manager badge, claim it, and be the best I can be at it. And I invite you to join me. It doesn't need to look the same as it does for others, but we know where we can tighten up in our lives and become more efficient. Take a moment to reflect on last fall. What were some of the good practices you had going? What were some of the ones that could use some work? I'll tell you that a good place to start as we're reflecting here is with a habit that you held on to for a while And then for one reason or another, you let it go. For instance, if last fall you said, I'm going to the gym 4 times a week, and you actually did it for a period of time, that means you can actually do it, right? And sometimes we say we don't have time to do this or that, or something's in the way. In this instance, you actually made the time for the thing and you did it for a period of time. Because at that time, you organized your schedule and planned to accommodate your trips to the gym in order to execute your workout. That was excellent project management. Or maybe you stopped eating out as much, choosing to plan your meals for the week ahead of time so that you were able to cook healthy meals easily for your family after work. Again, that was excellent project management. But somewhere along the way, you stopped. And I want you to ask yourself, as I ask myself, why did I fall off after a little while? I know that getting up an hour earlier to complete a few things on my to-do list is beneficial. That's been clear to me, right? Reducing the stress and overwhelm that letting that to-do list pile up will bring is not beneficial. A seasoned project manager knows that there is not an option for getting those to-do list items completed in a timely fashion. So they plan for getting them done on time because the success of the project depends on it. Well, our life is the project, and part of the success of our life depends on how we complete tasks within it. Do y'all hear me out there? Stop putting off executing on the things you need to in your life as if there is no schedule. We all have a schedule to keep to. And while we may not know when this contract expires, I suggest you make the most of it while available and sign up for that extra overtime where you can. Treat yourself well by managing yourself well. Your time, your obligations, the things you want to do. In a lot of instances, we have the ability to make room for at least some of the things that matter most, or even just do a better job at what we're currently doing if we would just take a step back, break it down, and analyze as needed. Account for every step in the process, right? Because you need to know what to expect and every detail along the way so that you can manage your time properly. If you have a 7:15 class you want to get to and you are 15 minutes away, what time should you be leaving? If you said 7, I'm going to need you to put your PM hat on, y'all. What about parking, checking in, changing clothes if necessary? A project manager accounts for all steps to ensure that everything runs smoothly. And let me just say that I am not always the most punctual person, but I am trying to do better at that by taking inventory and accounting for these extra things, right, that I may not have before. I can't remember the article that I read, but it was talking about time management. And, some folks are just chronically late. They always think they have more time when they do because they don't account for simple things like if I need to be out the door at 7, I can't go to the door at 7 and put my shoes on, right? That needed to be done at 6:58. So we need to account for every step in the process. And I don't know about you, but I'm trying to leave chaos and discord in the past. And one simple way to do that is by planning. It doesn't take long to write out the steps it may take to do something and then attach dates and times to them. It does take a little effort to stick to whatever it is that you've plotted out, though. Think of yourself in the role of project manager in your life. Right now, you may be in an entry-level position, but I say that now is the time to work toward a promotion. Executing and performing for a short period of time is great, but only performing in a short window is that entry-level mentality. We should be working toward the C-suite position in our lives. And only you can determine, do you want to stay an entry-level employee or are you trying to get to that C-suite? Let the approach of fall, the new school year, or whatever marker you want to use be your indicator for change. This is the year we get promoted if we desire, right? Moving up the ladder of life, succeeding at things we weren't sure we could. In most instances, you've already laid the groundwork, but it's time to build upon it, tighten it up, and let the inner or underused project manager inside of you help take you to new heights. Be sharper, be clearer, be focused, be on time, right? Know what's next. A little organization goes a long way in cleaning up what may feel messy in our lives. I'll leave you with a quote from Pablo Picasso today. Our goals can only be reached through a vehicle of a plan in which we must fervently believe and upon which we must vigorously act. There is no other route to success. So plan, believe, and act. That's the formula, and we have to do so consistently. So let's start by managing our lives like project managers and see where it takes us. I'm pretty sure it'll be someplace great. Thanks so much for listening today. If what you've been hearing has been beneficial, please don't forget to share, review, rate, and follow the pod. And thank you so much to those of you who shared such kind words after the 40th episode last week. It really keeps me going. And I'm sure you can hear it in my voice today that I'm under the weather, but I'm also currently enjoying some time off with the fam, getting recharged and ready to execute at a greater level than ever to see how far God wants to take me if I really do my part. What's going to happen when you do your part? Let me know where you intend to tighten up your project management skills, and we'll see where we go together. I can't wait to chat with you all again next week. Take care until then.